Hey, Coach Santos here at Stockton, California. I've got something very special, so hang out with me here for just a few minutes. Three questions that are asked. A gambler, a problem gambler will ask or has asked me. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm going to invite you to subscribe. Make sure that you turn your notifications to all. And if you feel supported very strongly into a permanent mindset here, a transformation, be sure to share this video, leave a comment, a thumbs up, so that YouTube knows that Coach Santos out of Stockton is doing a fairly decent job. And once again, thank you. So what's the difference between a mousetrap and a gambling trap? That's kind of an interesting analogy there, a mousetrap and a gambling trap. Well, we obviously know one thing for sure is that they're both traps, right? They're both traps. They're both craps. The difference is, it's obvious, right? You got a little bit of a rat. And of course, rats can be a nuisance if you've had them before, right? You set up those little, and by the way, if you set up the little trap, have you ever had that snap on your finger? That doesn't feel too good, does it? So you got a cheese, you got a piece of cheese, you got some peanut butter, you got something on that trap. You got something that's enticing that little animal, that little creature, right? They're not so bad, but they can become a problem. They can become a very serious problem. And of course, until they fall for the bait, right? They fall for the bait and they get caught in a trap. So what's the difference between the casino, the slot machine, the lottery tickets, the craps, the online betting, the online sports, or casinos online on the palm of your hand, right? Your computer, handheld computer. Pretty much the same. There's something there that's attracting you, that's bringing you into this trap, this box, if you will, right? Because if you lose your freedom, you are going to feel boxed in. The difference between you and the rat is obvious, as I said. The rat's an animal. It's a little animal, even though sometimes it can be cute. It's an animal. You're human. You've got dreams, you've got emotions, you've got money in the bank, you've got children, you've got family members, you've got friends, you've got business colleagues, right? The damage is big. Plus, you're a human being. So is there a difference between those two traps? They work pretty much the same, but of course, obviously, there's a big difference between a mouse trap and a gambling trap, or the casino that's trying to reach into your subconscious. Number two, here's another question. Did I experience fear and anxiety days after, post-gambling? Did I experience fear or anxieties post-gambling? Of course, after that gambling cycle was being broken, it was being replaced, it was being, the roots, if you will, that were controlling that behavior I began to override, I began to grow new roots. I call it SD, seed dropping. And of course, I was going all over the place trying to do that. Read books, seminars, some coaching events, journaling, electronic affirmations, YouTube therapy, video therapy, VT. And of course, all these other things that I was just working on to help my mind, to help me change my behavior, to help me get away from problem gambling, to help me get away from that addiction, that trauma as fast as possible. Yes, I did feel uncertainty. I did feel an overwhelm at times. It was coming into a new direction in life. So it's a whole different experience. Faulty thinking, uncertainty. And there was times where I engaged in things that I shouldn't have engaged in. But here's the thing. I broke the curse. I broke the pattern of thinking. I overrode the roots that were in my head controlling that behavior. I managed to get in there. I managed to get into that compartment successfully. I managed to get in there repeatedly, right? Because it is about repetition. The only way that you're going to change your behavior, honestly, in all honesty, is number one, you have to have the desire, which is what we're going to get to. How do we start? How do we start this? Or where do I start, right? You got to have the desire, number one. You got to have the desire, and you're going to have the drive, number two. And then you're going to have to be willing to understand that the battle is in your mind. You're going to have to win it here. You have to win it here. It doesn't matter You have to win it here before you can win it anywhere else. Here's what I would recommend, and I still recommend doing this today. Okay, I highly recommend this. How will I begin to change my life, right? Where do I start? You're gonna start in the mind, first of all. Start in the mind, right? There's a plethora of tools. We have community, we have coaching, I have coaching books, all kinds of life hacks, videos, podcast, email, S.I.T.E.C, all different plethora of tools that you have available for your portfolio. And you got to pick and choose which ones are the best ones that are going to work with you. Now, here's where I would start, some seed dropping. I would start with some seed dropping, meditating. Quiet time of meditation, 5 minutes, quiet time of meditation, early in the morning, throughout the day when you can, and just before bed. Seed drops. I recommend that because your mind understands vision. Your mind understands pictures, and you need to paint a picture in your mind of where you want to go and what it is that you want, how you want your mind to attract and begin to see these things that you want in your life. So you got to do some seed drops early in the morning, meditating on where you want to go, what it is that you want to do, who you want to become. Meditating. See yourself in that arena. See yourself doing. See yourself practicing. See yourself thinking. You must do this, or else you're going to stay doing the same thing over and over. Number 2, journaling. Make sure that you're using the power of pen and paper. Journaling. Or you can do a digital app. Journaling. Writing about your past. Writing about your future. Writing about your future. Writing about your present. Writing about your present. Writing about your future. That's what journaling is, right? Peace of mind, escape. You're entering into a domain of creativity, imagination, and possibilities that will happen. Self-talk, right? You want clarity. You want to focus on clarity and not fear. I did have anxiety. I had all of these things that were happening to me, but I just didn't focus on any of that. At least I tried not to. I worked very hard on focusing on clarity. I worked very hard on focusing on what I wanted, where I wanted to go, what I wanted. I failed, I've messed up, but I focused. And that's what I'm sharing with you here. Hopefully these questions have been answered effectively, properly. And this is the right place, this is the right time. Coach Santos, Stockton, California. I'm your coach, #1 problem gambling interventionist here. Leave a comment, a thumbs up, a share. Most importantly, soldier scribe.